Hello everyone. Um, this is another class on private investigation, and the topic of today is going to be on surveillance. Surveillance. So, surveillance is the art of observing another in order to gather evidence. The art of observing another in order to gather evidence. Surveillance is one of the most common methods private investigators use to investigate subjects and gather evidence. The subject is this person you have interest in getting, and the entity that you have interest in getting information about. And there are various type of techniques and research tools that you use to find gather evidence, maybe you want to find a missing person or somebody who's keep, or somebody or to collect information about an organization or a business. So what you use is surveillance, and there are types of surveillance. Generally speaking, there are four primary types of surveillance. There are four primary. If you are going to group all the surveillance into groups, we have about four of them. The first one is digital surveillance, which we'll talk about it extensively. But today, let's talk about the type and some other techniques. So, digital surveillance. This includes monitoring a person or group online activities. That is monitoring. We have more than 4 billion people on the net, and today many of our activities are migrating to us, into the cyber world. So on the cyber, that is on the net, some people, they have their they have their businesses. Everything they do can be linked to maybe their location, their what they do, the site they go to for transaction of business, people they relate with, their friends. All those things can be gotten through the internet. So the cyber world is a social world, is a religious world, and in fact there's no person in this world that you cannot be monitored through the cyber space. So digital surveillance include monitoring a person's group online activities. This will include monitoring a person's public social media or any other publicly available online. Some people, they avoid social media, but they are also present. Their presence is somewhere. For example, now we have database that is meant for government, that is meant for some companies. Those databases, they are not present in the first layer of internet, of web. They are not present. They know the web, it consists of about 3 layers. The first layer is where Google and search engine and some other popular search engine, where they normally reach to pick up information. But there's another layer called deep web. Then there's another one called dark web. Those layers, they are the places where you have information that cannot be reached ordinarily by Google search engine and co. So you may not have the target or the subject may not have information on the surface, on the first layer, but can still have information on the either of the two layers. So let's leave that on. We are going to deal with digital surveillance extensively, because that one is easier. You can do it at the comfort of your office. You can do it on your table, and you can monitor somebody or a subject organization or a group of people on your laptop without any stress. Then we have physical surveillance. This approach to surveillance encompasses everything that will classify that will fall under definition of surveillance, such as taking out at a location, following a suspect on foot or on using vehicle, or recording a person's public activities. Using, maybe you may be following a subject, you call it shadowing. You shadow a subject to a place, he will not know that you are following him. You are going to deal with how to do that one successfully also. Also, another one is interview surveillance. Interview surveillance is when you ask questions from people, questions that can bring out the information that you need from people, maybe people that surround that person. Like, for example, now you are investigating a particular target, or you want to know background of somebody. You are checking background of a particular person. There are some information you can get from people that surround him or her. So you can interview them. In a case of homicide or some other cases, there are people you can interview that can give you vital information. That is interview surveillance. And then you have technical surveillance. Technical surveillance is that one encompasses all active and passive surveillance that involve tools such as audio, video, or any other technical method for capturing and recording information. So you can get video or audio of a target. There are ways you can do that one. We'll be discussing about that one later. That one falls under technical surveillance. Now, we just talk about few of the techniques before we call it a day today. The first one, when you are on surveillance, or when you are shadowing a target, or when you go to a target, to a location to get information about an entity, maybe a person or an organization, there are some techniques you must know. There are some things you must know how to do, or things that you must not do. The first thing that you must be able to blend in. You know, private investigation, like any other person, can go to anywhere, any public place, but you must do it in a way that even when they see you, or when they see you, they may not be able to suspect that you are different from them. And what do you do when you get to when you get to a place where is totally strange to you, or where you are a stranger, or the clothes that you are going to put on must be able to blend with them, with their own. For example, if you are going to a place where people normally wear things like clothing that is local to that place, like a native dress, you don't go there with suit. You will draw people's attention to yourself. You try to wear the kind of clothes that people over there wear. If you go to a place where many of them are wearing wearing English dress, like wearing shirt and trousers, wearing suit, you too wear the same thing. It will make you to blend with them. And also don't wear any customized dress. For example, if you are a member of a particular organization, don't go there and wear a cloth that is talking about that organization. For example, now you don't go to a place where you have logo of a certain organization on you. And if your vehicle is already customized, don't take it there. Use another one that is just ordinary, that is not painted with a color that is flamboyant, or not. You don't have anything written on the board. Either on the board or on the body of the vehicle that may draw people's attention to you. Then Another number two of the technique is start online. Start online. Before you leave your home, try as much as possible to get information about the location. For example, if I'm going out maybe to a place like Lekki and I stay in Ogun State, before I get to that place, the address of that place will be sent to Google. I will key into Google Map and you get the location. Through the Google Map, I can know where you will have a close. You know, a close is a place where you can enter from one side and you cannot go out from the other side. So when you have a close, if that place, that location is in a close, you have to be more vigilant. You have to be more careful. So you have to you start online. That one will give you at least a clue of what that place look like before you get there. Then number three, you keep your distance, but not too far. If the target is going ahead of you, keep your distance. Do not move too close and do not be too far because you can lose him or her. So, and don't be too close. If you are too close, the person may likely suspect that this person has been tracing me. This person has been following me for a long period. So perhaps there's something is fishy. So don't be too close. Keep your distance, but not too far. Then number four, avoid eye contact. There are situations where you need to move close to the target. Avoid eye contact. Making eye contact is a sure way to let someone know you are looking at him or her. So try as much as possible to avoid eye contact. And when you when you make eye contact, it will make somebody that you are looking at, to want to take notice of you. So tomorrow, if he sees you, it is likely for him to remember, because there are times where you need to go to a location 2, 3 or 4 times before you get the details of what you want. So avoid eye contact with the target or those that are close to the target. Then number 5, anticipate your response. In a case where a target or some people around that place, we just notice that it's like this person is strange. The movement of this person is not like our own. They can just throw a question to you. So you must anticipate the kind of question they want to ask and ready for answers that you give to them without begin to scratching your head. So when a situation changes, many people need time to make a decision and react. When you don't anticipate your situation, you can easily make the wrong decision. At times, you need to get out of that place. You need to stop investigation. Just stop the shadowing or the tracing of that person. You stop it and you quit it for 2-3 days. You may not do anything about it. Even there is situation where you need to stop the investigation totally at that stage. So you need to be able to anticipate ahead of what will happen. If they are going to ask you a question, why are you, the reason why you are there, you need to give them reasonable answer without begin to think or scratching your head for what to say. Number 6, prepare an explanation for what you are doing. If they see you somewhere, there's difference between giving them answer immediately. Maybe they say somebody does look out from the window. Looking out from the window and see you where you are not supposed to be, and somebody says, who is that? Your response at that time goes along either for that person, whether that one will make your response will make that person to keep quiet or just continue whatever he's doing, or to call people to alert others. So that is your response. Then another thing is explanation. If now they said, why are you doing what you are doing? Why are you there? I saw you with a video, or I saw the something you are using. It's like you are videoing a particular person. Why are you doing it? You must have explanation on ground. Or if they see maybe you are using a camera from your device, from your from your phone, you are using it and they saw light, they say, sir, why do you have your camera phone on? You must be able to say something tangible and explain something, so that their mind will just go off you instantly. Then don't be creepy. Act appropriately. Don't at times there are some places like in front of primary school, in front of places like a bank. When you get to that place, don't be too slow, don't be too sluggish. Because those places, they are hot places where people can see you and ask question, where security in plain clothes can ask you question, or people are so much security conscious in front of primary school, in front of places like a worship center when there's no program. When they ask you question, you must be able to give them answer and be able to act. Don't act in a way that will make them to be suspicious of you. Don't just stay and be looking as if you want to carry something. So that is then number 8. Document, because you just never know. Make sure you document everything you do. There are some things you write down, there are some things you camera, there are some things you snap, there are some things you video. So document. And if you are using camera, use camera that has connection with the cloud. These days you have a lot of devices that when you use whatever camera or picture that you snap, they are going to the cloud. So if anything happen to your camera, perhaps maybe this take your camera away from you, or your device away from you, or something, or they just spoil it, maybe something happen, or you yourself you lose your device, you will still have those things, because before you go out for a job, you might have collected your pay. So it will be very odd for you to say something happened to all the investigation that you did for maybe for like 2-3 weeks, and yet no evidence of it. You will destroy your business and your reputation. And when you have documentation, when you do proper documentation, it will be easy for you later to write report which the court can use. If you are not able to write a report that is concise enough for the court to use to judge the case, to judge any case at hand, then your business you are ruining your business. And lastly, there are do's and don'ts of surveillance. Do's and don'ts of surveillance. Number 1, focus on ethical concerns. As a private investigator, there are some things you cannot do. There are some things you cannot do. You cannot just intrude into people's privacy. Even if they are allegedly guilty party, if there are some other evidence that show that they are guilty, you cannot still just invade their privacy anyhow like that. So you have to be careful of that one. When you are going on surveillance, use vehicles that blend in the area. Don't use a kind of vehicle that will attract attention. A vehicle that is bring out smoke. Don't use that kind of a car. Don't use a car that is so sophisticated that in that environment is something that if the such a car should come in, all of them will want to come and look at who is who inside the car. Look at a kind of car that is an average car that people can use in that environment. Then should not have a kind of plate number that is so totally strange to them. Then the painting must not be the one that will attract. Do not use a vehicle with a shouting paint. Then do not follow too closely. Do not follow too closely. If you are investigating in a rural area where all of them they know one another, the best thing is to inform the police. In a place where all of them, or virtually if anybody should come in now, they will know that this person is not part of us. Inform the police, go to the police station and inform the police that you want to work in that place. Let them explain to them before you go, because something may go hurry, because they know all of them. You may think you are the one that is investigating, they too may be investigating you. And if anything happens, whatever, if you have already told the police, if anything happens, the police can say yes, this one is on a legal duty, is not a criminal. And in a country like this, Nigeria, where you have cases of kidnapping, they will not think that you are a kidnapper. Then what are the don'ts? Don't spend too much time at high alert areas. There are some high alert areas like in front of bank, in front of school, especially primary schools, nursery schools. Those are high alert areas. Don't set the bar of expectation too high. Don't say, no, I must get this thing today. If you set it too high, it may affect you. Do not confuse real life surveillance with how they do it in television. What they do in television is a mixture of real surveillance and entertainment. So things are not always like that. You may need to be on investigation for several weeks before you get to the root of the matter. So what are the surveillance checklists? Sorry. What are the checklists when you are going on surveillance? So these are the things that you're supposed to ask your client to provide the following information about the subject. It is advisable to use form to collect the required information. If you are asked to, for example, conduct a background check on a particular subject, the best thing is to tell your client to fill a form. That form, you use that form to collect all the information that you need, like the name of the subject, the name, the address, the location, the phone number, and some other things. Maybe in the next class, I will show you a type of form that we use. So, ask your client to provide physical address of the subject and any family members who may resemble the subject, because at times you may see 2-3 people that resemble themselves. Pictures of the subject are also necessary if available. Ask to provide a verified address that can be verified. Then provide the age or approximate age. At times you may not be able to provide the age, but you can say the person is about 50 years age, the person is about just a teenager, and so on and so forth like that. Then provide a description of the vehicle if the subject is using vehicle. Provide as many details as possible about the subject, including prior conviction, past occupation, hobbies, and names. So that is depending on the kind of person the investigation that you want to do. If it is on background check, you may not need all those things, because that is, in fact, those are the things that you need to provide. All you need is in a background check, for example, what you need is the full name of that person. If that person is bearing alias, you ask for the alias also, then the phone number, the address, depending on the kind of background check. There are some background check that you need to go into the school of that person, to find out whether that person truly attended some school that he claim he went to. Or somebody want to marry, you want to confirm if he had married before and had a family. So such a kind of person, all you need is the names, the address, verifiable address of that person, then the picture. That is all. So you get others by yourself. Then that is where we are going to stop today. So the next class we are going to discuss about other things. So share this lecture with your professional colleagues and let them enjoy what you enjoy. God bless you and thank you. And even click on the notification bell so that anytime we have a lecture, it will send notification to you, or when we upload the new lecture, you can see it. Share it as we said. Thank you and bye bye till next class.